What's up, y'all? What's cracking? Oh, I got this on. Nah, I got this mask on. I don't know y'all like that. I'm social distancing. I don't know y'all like that. Okay, breathing on me through the live. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Rebecca, don't do that. I see you backstage laughing at me. Yeah, I don't know these people like that over here breathing on me. Catch the corona. Okay, I need to leave her and her peoples alone. All right, let me just give it a second. I'm gonna try to pull the live up on Facebook so I can watch what's going on. But how's everybody doing? You know how they be like, listen, wait, let's wait till the people come in. I'm not waiting for nobody to come in. Okay, if you're not in, you're not in. Okay, we already got 5 people on. That's what's up. That's good enough. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's well today. Okay. Um, you know me, y'all. We gonna have a good time. Act silly. Cover the topic at hand, and we're gonna keep it moving. Okay. All right, can't find it. Anyway, so I guess I should probably tell y'all why I'm doing this. I think I did on my other live, but I'll repeat myself. Okay. Basically, I think this is mainly inspired by one of my guests today, her Facebook post. And her Facebook post was dealing with the fact that she actually contracted COVID-19 and how she dealt with it and what she encountered while she was dealing with it, her quarantine time, her symptoms. She talked about a lot of things, but one thing that stood out, well, 2 things that stood out for me was one thing she said was to describe this last 2 weeks in one word, it would be hell. I was like, wow. Then she went on to say that she would rather give birth to all 4 of her children again rather than to experience this again. And it just blew me away. Of course, my heart went out to her immediately because, this is my people's. I've been knowing her for a long time. I'll introduce her more and share a little bit more about that when she comes on. But I'm like, wow, that's like people are really dealing with that. And so I thought to myself, like, you know what? Her last line was, but I'm still standing here 15 pounds lighter, but I'm standing here victorious. You know what I mean? And so I said, there is victory out there. And there are people who are coming out of this coronavirus, and the media is not telling us that. They're not sharing with us how many people are coming out of it. They're not sharing with us those type of numbers. And I think, I felt like, hey, let me take some of my friends, get us all together, have a good time, and talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Even if you look at this right here, I have this graphic, right? This graphic shows this. I took this off of Google. I just Googled the numbers for the United States and Jersey. And if you look at on the top left, it says confirmed 135, I can't read, 135,000 cases in the United States. This was on May 8th, okay? Then if you go to the right, it says 8,952 deaths. In the middle, it says recovered. There's no number. Then if you look at the list, since I live in Jersey, I kind of did Jersey. If you look at the list in each county in New Jersey, they give the confirmed numbers on the left, and then on the right, they give the deaths. And in the middle, there's the numbers of people that recovered, and there's no numbers. Like, why aren't there any numbers? I don't get it. Where's the numbers? Okay. Governor Murphy, where's the numbers? We need to see the numbers. Okay. But there are people recovering. And I mean, so I just wanted to kind of come on here and kind of outline that, the trends in the media always speak to the negative. I mean, you sit in front of the news and just get depressed just on a regular day. Forget about coronavirus. You can get depressed just sitting in front of the news. I downloaded this app called Newsflash, and I promise you, every 10 minutes something's going on. Somebody getting shot, slapped, robbed, mugged, somebody stealing somebody's car. Something's going on across the world, and this state that comes on this newsflash. I'm about to delete it. I just wanted to kind of know what the updates were on coronavirus. I got all of this other stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, we're here to have fun. I did see Rebecca backstage, but She disappeared. Maybe her connection got lost. I'm just waiting for Kay to come on in, and we will certainly get started. In the meantime, I can show you kind of what else I dug up in terms of numbers or in terms of survivors. Here you have New Jersey's first coronavirus. I guess he was the first reported coronavirus case, because I'm sure there were other people before him, but he was the first, New Jersey's first reported coronavirus case, James Kai, and he is out of the hospital. As I understand it, he's doing well. He's recovering, and and he's been victorious over this illness. And this graphic is from probably about a week ago. So I'm sure he's doing a whole lot better now. Then I love old people, y'all. I just love old people. I love them to death. And she is adorable. This one right here. She is 108 years old. Listen, I just want to get like to maybe 80 and I'll be straight. But this woman right here is 108 years old. She survived COVID-19, completely recovered, 108 years old. I'm only 27, y'all. I'm only 27, okay? And if this 108-year-old, first of all, nobody on this live is nowhere near 108 years old, okay? So if she can survive it, we can survive it, all right? So that was my, she's adorable. Let me put her back up here. Ain't she cute? I love it. I love old people. And the reporter asked her, he's trying to get some story out of her, like how it happened, where you think got it from. She's talking about her kids. She's talking about everything else except the coronavirus. He was like, you know what? She's 108 years old. I'm going to let her be. Okay. And I bet you he did. So, but yeah, so we're still waiting for Kay to come on board. But I do have one of my friends here, one of my sisters from church backstage. I'm gonna pull her to the studio. Okay. And we'll probably just start with her. All right, y'all. Hey, ma'am.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
I'm good. I am good. I'm good. Thank you for coming on with me, Rebecca. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate
no problem.
It, Rebecca. Yeah, I don't have no sense. You don't have no sense, and we pass each other in the church
None
always.
whatsoever.
We don't even have to say nothing. We just look at each other and be like, and just kiki. You know what I mean? Rebecca, like I said, is a friend from my church, our church, and she has a wonderful hubby. Okay, I'm sure he's somewhere around there in the house. That's my dude. And then she has these beautiful girls. Yeah. And the first time I checked, there was only one. Now there's like 16, and they're all beautiful. Now, you know how I tell y'all got a lot of kids. They only really got three. You got three. You have three, right? You got three girls.
Right. Three girls. Yep.
Yeah. And they're all just so beautiful. I mean, it's 3 or 4. If they push out another one, it's gonna be another beautiful baby. You know what I mean? So, but one of them, the first one, I think I'm still to this day trying to be her friend. She don't want to be my friend. She's not my friend. She don't want to be my friend. And I try to pick up. She runs. I try to make googly eyes at her. She runs. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe when you get to be a teenager. Okay. I think Rebecca, you're frozen. Yeah, she froze. But her kids are beautiful. Her husband is a great man of God, and that's my dude. And I appreciate them both. Rebecca. We're going to try to get her back on here. Rebecca works in the healthcare field, and outside of individuals who survived Corona or COVID-19, actually, because Corona is the virus that gets you to COVID-19, which is almost like HIV and AIDS. HIV is the virus that gets you to AIDS. People, besides individuals that survive COVID-19, I want to talk to some people, some frontline people. She's gone. Some frontline people, some individuals who, because that's me. That's not her. I want to speak to some individuals who were on the front lines and can tell us kind of like what exactly is happening in the hospitals. Also the real deal on how many people are being released. I, for one, used to work in for Barnabas Health Care System, which is now RWJ Barnabas Health. And I know that I think I've seen something recently. I don't even remember the number, but I know I seen something about Newark Beth Israel in Newark that released something like their 600th patient. Don't quote me on that, but they said that Rebecca, who was just on here, also, I think she sent me something where they released the whole system. Hackensack Meridian Health released their 5,000th patient on COVID that was positive for COVID-19. Man, listen. Oh, you know what I got to do? I have to find the live because you guys might be commenting. Let me turn it down. Okay. And let me see. Skelly Green was in the building. Tanya, peek around the pic. You see the peek around the pic? Ariana, my little sister's on. Kay's here. I'm here waiting on a link. Oh, I don't see you backstage, Kay. You might want to come out and go back in again. She said she was here. Tiana, my little sister's on. Here, let's bring Rebecca back. You okay?
Hey, sorry.
You okay?
It's the connection.
Listen, I think your connection got coronavirus, okay? You
It
better go get it
probably
tested. You better go get it tested. Okay, man? So yeah, Kay said she was on. She's waiting on the link. I don't know what that means. But anyway, so while we're waiting, Rebecca, I'll talk to you first. Kay will come in. We'll kick it with her. We'll all have a nice little party here. So first, what do you do in the healthcare field? Because you done told me about 17 times. This is going to be the 18th. So just tell me one more time. It's going to be the 18th. Yeah, it's going to be the 18th. So tell me one more time what you do.
So I'm an experience ambassador for Hackensack Meridian, the Old Bridge campus. So what my
okay. I see you. That's
so
bougie.
my role is the advocate for the hospital. So I'm the liaison between the patients and the medical staff. So if they have any concerns, if they're not understanding of their plan of care, or I manage complaints and grievances, that all goes through my office. So that's really my role, is to advocate and be the voice for the patients while they're in our facility. That's
lit because as a patient, as a former, I guess, healthcare worker, in the medical field, that's very important. And then as a patient, it's much more important, okay? Because even though there's been times where I've gone to our doctor's offices that were owned by Barnabas Health, and I had a little bit of issue, and I worked there. You know what I mean? So to have a patient advocate is what's up. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't go smooth in our hospitals, okay? And then when they do, listen, you want to tell somebody. If you're in the hospital, you have a good experience, make sure you let people know, because these nurses and these doctors and these home health aides and CNAs and all of the medical staff, they work hard to make sure you have a good experience. And if you don't, if you have a good experience, make sure you let the word. Wasn't your job called the ombudsman before? No, that's different. Sorry, that's down the block. That's all. You know what? No.
Before the department was called guest relations. Now they're patient experience. Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, patient experience.
Fancy.
Okay, so yeah, fancy. So now, no. Okay, you know what? I got it. I'm getting my life together. The ombudsman is more on the state level, I think.
Correct.
It's like a part of the state office where you got big time issues, like you want to go to Medicaid and complain about some fraud, or you want to go complain about your auntie died at the hospital because they left her with a morphine drip and for 10 weeks, and you know what I mean, like something crazy like that. That's the ombudsman. Okay, so it's kind of similar. Well, I guess you're the first hand in terms of the patients. But anyway, so what's going on in your hospital? If you don't want to disclose where you work at, it's fine. I think you're stuck again. Wait, is she stuck? Because she's like, Yeah, I think she's stuck again. She'll come on back in. If we can get Kay in, that'd be cool. I sent her the link again. Oh, she's back. Okay. Let me see here. Wait, which one are you? Okay, I'm gonna move that one. Okay. You back?
Yeah.
You back? Okay.
I'm here.
So what I was asking before Corona Ruley interrupted us, okay? How has it been in your hospital? If you can kind of give me, tell me what the landscape of your facility looks like. You don't have to disclose it if you don't want to. I know we work at our establishments proudly, okay? But, for whatever reason, if you don't want to disclose it, that's fine. But tell me what the landscape of your facility looks like.
So on a normal day, we have our 2 med surg floors, which is our med surgical floors. And then we have the telemetry floor, and then we have our ICU. Our ICU has 10 beds. But once the pandemic began, our ICU carried over into the telemetry floor. So that's about, I would say, maybe 19 rooms. And when you think about it, there's 2 in each room. However, before we started cohorting patients, we had to spread the patients out. So that's when, we started holding in the ER. That's when the tent came into place, because we had to wait for results to come back in to figure out if you were positive or if you were, they called it a PUI, which was a patient under investigation, meaning they're waiting for their results to come back to see if you're positive or not. But you may have a lot of symptoms that may have someone believe that you may be positive. So they were hesitant to send you home. So for a while, we had the ICU carrying over into telemetry. And at one point, every patient was on a vent between in that one floor, because it's on the same floor. Then we had patients on med-surg 3 and 2 that were positive, or they were PUIs, and we ended up opening one of our surgical suites and creating patients. So patients who were coming in for an ankle fracture or whatever the case was, and they weren't here for coronavirus and they didn't test positive for it, they would go to what we call Suite 350. But on any given day, that's a surgical suite. So that's where you would go for the OR and things like that. So we had to create that into actual rooms, which was challenging also because there's no TVs up there, of course. So we had corporate send iPads. So that way they had some way to watch television, because we also not only were we not allowing visitors, we also weren't allowing belongings to be brought in. Wow. Because we weren't sure, if the person bringing them was exposed to it and then they touched it, and then we went and brought it to what we considered the clean floor. Now we've just infected the clean floor.
Wow.
So there was a lot that went into it. And when it came to advocating for patients or just checking in with them, we had to become really creative in my department and figure out, okay, if we can't get to the floors and we can't get to their bedside, how are we really going to do this? And so we made sure that every patient had a bedside phone. And so what we did was we called into the patient's room. Now, if they weren't on a vent, 9 times out of 10, they would answer the phone. However, you would hear the progression, and you could actually hear the virus taking over whenever you called them daily. Wow. So they could answer the phone the first day, and they may, it may be difficult for them to communicate. It may be hard to breathe, but they're still able to answer, yes, no, or short sentences. But then the next day you could hear that they were on oxygen. So I would say, if it's difficult for you to breathe, I'll call you back when at a different time. And then I'd call the next day and they wouldn't pick up. And so when I would,
so wait, hold
check.
on. Pause. So you guys had to kind of restructure your facility.
Absolutely.
And then try to accommodate them comfortably with
Correct.
iPads for Wow.
Correct.
And telephones.
Right.
Wow.
So now typically they should have a bedside phone, but a lot of times they don't use it because they have cell phones. So, if it rings, they're not expecting their family to call them there, so they don't answer it. So what we had to do was we had to be proactive. So we had to collaborate with the nurse managers and all the nurses to say, when you're rounding on your patient, let them know that patient experience is going to be calling them. They want to check in with them daily. And when we started calling, we realized that the patients who could talk and keep conversation, they were so appreciative because they don't see anybody. All they see is their nurse, barely, because they're covered. They have their N95s on, they have their shield masks on, they have their hair caps on. So all they see is their eyes. So one of the things that we also started doing was we had selfies laminated of ourselves. So we wear it with our badge. So that way they can get a sense of, oh, this is, who I'm talking to, or this is, who your nurse looks like. But, the communication part was probably the biggest part because when it hit hard, and the nurses obviously were overwhelmed, and they're just focused on the patient. I need to make sure they get their meds. I need to make sure, they're rotated. I need to make sure that, they're clean, or whatever the case may be. So the families would say, I haven't received an update. I haven't received an update. And it wasn't until I was on the other side saying, my family hasn't received an update, it didn't click until until my family was in that situation. So
wait,
right, when my father-in-law was in the hospital.
Okay.
Right. So when I would get families calling in and saying, I haven't had an update, they need to be calling me and this and that. Of course, you get them to a place, you calm them down. I'll check in with your nurse. I'm sure they're, caught up with a lot of different things right now. But, a part of you was like, okay, relax, we're in a pandemic. But then when I was on the other side and I was the one calling in, on behalf of my family or advocating for them, saying, you got to call and ask these questions, it was like a slap in the face. Cause I was like, whoa, I was like, this is exactly what my patients' families are going through. So then it helped me go back to work and advocate differently. So when I would get a patient on the phone, I would specifically ask them, have you spoken to your family? Does your family know you're here? Who's your, I see your emergency contact is so-and-so. Do you know if they've been kept up to date with your care? And sometimes they'll say, oh, yes, they know everything that's going on. Or sometimes the response is, honestly, I don't even know. I haven't even heard from them. I haven't spoken to them. So I would say, would you like me to? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your sentence. I'm sorry.
So I would say, would you like me to connect with them? And so I would connect with the emergency contact and have dialogue with them and, explain my role. And a lot of times the family doesn't even know that there is an advocate there. They just think that the patient is just with the nurse and that's it. And so I explained to them, no, we're still advocating for our patients and families. And so that's when the collaboration comes about, because they may say, we haven't heard an update since 2 days ago, or my loved one has been in the hospital for a week and no one has contacted us and no one has called us back. And so from there, my role is to get in contact with the nurse, get in contact to the
and bring it all together.
The attending physician to really get the family the information that they need.
Rebecca, hold on. Let me just let Kay. I see you. I see. Wave at me, Kay. Kay. I see you. Okay, I'm gonna let her finish, and then we're gonna bring you on. All right. I wanna just let her finish about what her role is in the hospital and kind of the landscape of her facility. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, so that's really the basis of what we do. And we have the iPads, and, we have a couple more iPads coming in. The goal for the hospital now, as we look towards the new norm, is that each patient has an iPad in their room. So that way, if you're being rushed in and you didn't grab your phone or you didn't grab your belongings, don't worry about it. You put your information into the iPad and you can connect with, your family through whatever app you use. And once you're discharged, the iPad comes back to our department and we wipe it. So that way none of your information obviously is stored. But that's our goal for HMH. Right. That's our goal is, so that the patients have a way to communicate with their family.
Wow, that's you have a really large role in this whole thing, and I hats off to you and all of the individuals in all the hospitals that do your job, because honestly, one of the main reasons or the main concerns of families is that I'm not going to be able to go see the norm is to go see your family in the hospital. Somebody stubbed their toe and they got to take it off. You go to the hospital, see them, you go hang out with them.
Right.
You see what I mean? Like you, I don't know. Like it's hard to have somebody COVID-19 positive. They whisk them off in an ambulance and you never see them again until they come out. Like, or God forbid not. You know what I mean? So hold on, we're gonna bring K-Luke on. We're gonna bring K-Luke in and we're gonna just party together. Okay, it's gonna be three of us. All right. So y'all put your hands together for K-Luke. K-Luke, hey K.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Doing? All is well. How you doing?
You're looking good. It's been a while. I'm good.
All right, relax.
All right, sorry. It got to me a little bit. Okay. We don't Black and Puerto Rican don't crack. Okay. All right. Okay. So Rebecca, this is Kay. Kay, this is Rebecca.
Hi.
You probably overheard Rebecca talking. She is an essential worker. She works at one of the Hackensack Meridian facilities in New Jersey, and she is a patient experience executive. Okay, we don't up to. I didn't give her a grade. She's a patient experience executive. Okay, and part of her job is I didn't realize this. I knew what she did. She told me about 17 times. Today was 18, but I didn't realize how key her job is at the hospital these days, because you cannot reach out to your family. It's hard. And then with the nurse being so busy, nobody's going to the nurse station, picking up the phone and say, hey, let me roll your family member to the. They're not doing it to the nurse station. They're not doing that because they don't have no time.
Yeah.
So she's a liaison between the patients and their families, and patient and their families. Yeah. And I don't even think Rebecca realized how important her job was until unfortunately she had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I said that is super important. That is a extremely important role. Because for me personally, I had the coronavirus, I beat it, but not only that, it not only affected me, but I have family members as well. My father-in-law.
Wait, let me pull you in first, okay?
Sorry.
Now Rebecca, we're joking. I was like, her internet connection has coronavirus because it was something. Okay, but she'll be back. I'm sure she'll be back. But okay, so let me just tell you guys how I know Kay. Okay, because we go back like a throwback. Okay,
right.
Kay and I have known each other. Kay and her husband, because they came as a team to the event that I and my colleague produced. We did a fashion event. And Kay was one of the designers in New Jersey, repping New Jersey, okay, who graciously said, yep, I'm going to come and be a part of your event. We did it for a number of years, but I think Kay was a part of my first year that I did it. So she was
the first and the second year. I think I came both years.
Kay's an OG, okay?
Yeah,
she's the OG.
I definitely did.
Right? And she brought the flavor, she brought some crazy flavor to the event. Okay, here's Rebecca. We're going to bring her back on.
Exactly.
Kay brought some crazy flavor to the event. And you know, we had several designers, but Kay's I was like, okay, good thing I'm not a woman, I can't fit into it. Okay, but she brought some crazy flavor to the event, and she's the reason that I'm doing this. To be honest, her Facebook post inspired me. And I'm going to. I thought I had it. I thought I could bring it up, but I don't. Maybe I can get it. But her Facebook post is what inspired me. Just some of the things she said, it made me think like, wow, you know, people are beating this thing and they're victorious with it. And I think we need to share that with the world. So that's why I wanted her to be my first guest. Okay. And so Kay, that's who Kay is. She did beat coronavirus or COVID-19. Okay. So you're looking at a victory right there on the right side of the screen, the right side or the left side, whatever you're looking at it. You're looking at victory right there. So I'm going to let her just kind of share a bit of her experience, kind of how it affected her family. Because like I said, she has a husband and some kids. You have 4 kids.
4 kids. Yeah.
4 kids. So I'm going to let her just dig in and just share. And, you know, and I'm sure what she says will encourage and inspire you guys to understand that there is something after this COVID-19.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me fine? Everything sounds good?
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
I actually, it's really huge, you know, just to hear you say that, you know, my post really impacted you, and, you know, a lot of people inboxed me as well. And I'm just grateful for that. Even people that got coronavirus, they inboxed me to see what I did, and because some remedies doctors don't even know about. Like, I'm Caribbean old school, you know what I mean? There's different things, so I had to give some insider tips to, you know, some people. But just I'm just humbled, and I just feel blessed to have survived and just, you know, use my testimony to encourage and help other people. Like that's really huge. So I'm grateful to be here, honestly, because there were points where I felt like I wasn't gonna make it. So it all started. So I still do my fashion thing, but I got into counseling. So I was working. I'm still on disability right now from it. I haven't gone back to work yet, but I was working in the funeral business, and at the time I was working with a mortician. So literally I was counseling families, you know, that was like, you know, losing families, as far as I was doing grief counseling. And then, you know, I just delved into that world for some time. And I believe I tried to figure out how I, you know, got it in the first place. And I don't know, a part of me feels like it was from being around the bodies, because at the time that I contracted it, they weren't really sure if after someone passed away, if their body still carried the coronavirus. So I was exposed to a whole bunch of bodies. You know, I would go into the freezer with the body, you know, you prep it, you know, he was embalming the bodies. I'm in the same room. So there was a lot of elderly people who had passed. And, you know, now we know from the news reports, a lot of people weren't being diagnosed correctly, or they had it, but they weren't being tested. So a lot of people were passing away, and these bodies were affected, and I was around them. So I really feel like that's where I got it from, because I was very careful and I was very paranoid the whole time, because I do have 4 kids. So, you know, that was just hard, just trying to figure out where I got it from in the first place. But I, you know, really feel like that was the place. So for me, it started with like body aches. Like I felt like my muscles, it almost felt like it started out, you know how your muscles are sore when you're working out? Like after workout, it started with that feeling. It was in my legs, like my calf muscles behind my legs. And I was just like, you know, maybe it's because I was working, I just went back to the gym and everything like that. But then 2-3 days, I think it probably took a week till it just got to like, okay, something's wrong with me, because my arms was hurting, my face felt really sensitive, like my skin, to touch. That feeling, maybe like if you're coming down with a cold, like you would feel like your body's really sensitive. So it all started with like muscle pains, body aches, and then it got to a point where it was like unbearable. The only thing that would help me is just taking showers. I was literally taking showers about like 5-6 times a day, warm showers, just to soothe the aches and the pains. I didn't really run a fever or anything like that, but I did get chills. I was sweating a lot. My breathing wasn't really bad. It was just that dry cough, like just constant, and just coughing so much. It just was really hard because it makes your insides hurt, your stomach, your abs, your everything. It feels like everything is just going to come because you're constantly coughing. Cough medicine would not help. Anything that I could possibly take wasn't doing anything for me. So I literally suffered through it. It came in stages. So it was the body pains, the sweats, the chills, the coughing. At one point, I think I was drinking a lot of water, but I still think I was dehydrated. I couldn't really eat anything. So at nighttime, I started hallucinating. I actually would see my grandfather, who passed away some years ago, coming for me to call me home. I would tell him I'm not ready yet. Like it was a lot. I felt like it was a lot of spiritual warfare going on at the same time with me hallucinating. That's for another testimony, another day.
So you seen grandpa calling for you.
Mm-hmm.
You like, listen, Grandpa, I listened to you most of my life. I'm not listening to you today. Okay.
I didn't know all of that. I didn't say, I was like, listen, you need to come back. I'll go back from where you came from, because I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready. Good seeing you, but I'm not ready.
Good seeing you, Papa, but bye-bye.
Right. So it was really tough. The pain in my body with all that I described, it was unbearable. Like it was just, I can't even put into words what it was. And I was taking, at the time, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to take ibuprofen or Motrin, but I was popping those bad boys left and right. I was trying to take Tylenol. And then the last part of it, I think the last, probably on week 3 that I was sick, I developed severe diarrhea. And so that's what almost took me out, because I was already dehydrated and I was trying to drink tea and water, but I guess I couldn't replenish as quick as it was leaving. So I literally was going to the bathroom every like 5 to 10 minutes, like constantly, to the point where there was nothing left, like not to be graphic, but, just to, tell the real, there was really nothing.
It's okay.
Yeah, there was really nothing left, so I started seeing black, and like feeling like I was going to pass out. And I honestly think it was just God that just told me to call my aunt, who's a nurse in Georgia. And again, we're Caribbean, and the first thing she was like, don't go to the hospital, because a lot of things firsthand, she's seeing how patients were treated at the hospital. Many different hospitals, people were left to die there. And so the thing that saved me, she called my husband Jonah, and she told him what to do. Like he made like this lemon drink for me and put some things in there which helped. But the thing that stopped me going to the bathroom and just brought me back, and just also helped with the coughing, was red onions. She literally told me to cut red onions and eat them. Because what happens if you research onions, it helps with respiratory problems. So when I ate the red onions, it was literally clearing up the phlegm that was inside me. Because a lot of people, when they have coronavirus, it turns into pneumonia. So I believe that's what stopped me from developing pneumonia. Yeah, so I would eat the red onions. It was literally, you could feel the burn down in your throat and in your nostrils, but it was clearing everything out at the same time. So I ate that maybe 3 times a day, like chunks of red onions, for probably like a week. And then it stopped the diarrhea. It stopped the coughing. It helped everything to subside.
Wow.
So that was something that really helped to save my life. Yeah. So
Wow. Red onions
red onions. Who would have
for the
thought?
win.
I
For the
I
win.
had no idea until she told me. Red
Listen,
onions.
you understand that, you know, I'm not Caribbean. I wish I was. I probably am. I gotta look into my DNA. But Caribbean, you know, our roots, Caribbean roots and African roots. When you go back, we did this. You know what I mean? We knew about all the red onions and the herbs and the things that would bring healing to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're so westernized with all of our Western medicine, and I'm not, you know, because I pops me a good ibuprofen every once in a while. Okay,
Right. But we're dependent. We're too dependent on those things, and
yeah,
there are a lot of things. Who like again? She told me red onion. I'm looking at my husband like red onions. Like I'm about to eat. But when I ate the red onion, it gave me instant. Like it worked in like literally 2-3 minutes. Like I felt a
wow,
difference, and I would have never guessed something like that. So
wow,
it was, man, it was tough. And like I said, the third week of it was the scariest. Because that's when it's just at points I was literally in my bed crying out to God to just take the pain away, because it was just nonstop to the point where you're mentally tired. It starts playing with you mentally. And my husband nursed me the whole time. I know I probably yelled at him a few times. I had some, a bad attitude. He was very patient with me. He dealt with a lot of my crap, and he nursed me. And everybody is shocked with the fact that he didn't get it either, because he didn't want to leave my side. We literally slept in the same bed together.
wow.
But when we both tested for it, he came up negative. And mine was positive, and I could only, I don't even understand, because he said there was times where I was coughing in my sleep, where I was coughing on him, but I just feel like that was God's grace, because he was the only I stayed quarantined in my room, but he had to take care of our 4 children. So if he contracted it, they would have gotten it. So I feel like it was great, the grace of God, why he didn't contract it, and he was able to take care of the kids, and for them to be fine.
Listen, God covered your side of the bed. Okay, he put a shield around. Oh, come on, he put a shield around your side of the bed. But listen, that's the power of love, though.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm not going nowhere. Like, what you talking about? I'm not. What isolation? What? I'm not going. You're not quarantining without me.
He said sometimes at night when I was sleeping, my breathing was delayed. So he would literally lay hands and pray for me in the middle of the night, when I didn't even know he was doing that. So he did not want to leave my side the whole time, when I was sick. So if it wasn't for him and my aunt's, suggestions and the remedies and everything like that, I would not be here. And I'm very, very grateful that I came out of it.
Wow. Sure. Wow, Kay. One of somebody commented, can you speak about the recipe? The recipe was just red onions. Like
it was literally red. I took a red onion and
pepper on it, did you? You didn't put no ketchup on it.
No, nothing. Oh, what he also did was my aunt told him to cut onions and leave it in different parts of the house, just to help with we should be inhaling it and breathing in. So he literally put some in the kids' room. He put a few cups in our bathroom, in the bedroom, like different places. And I would literally eat. I didn't cut it in big chunks, because I felt like I would throw up, but like small bits at a time. I would just chew on it just to help with the cough, but it was literally red onion.
Let me tell you something. I don't eat red onions, but you hear me? I'll take the whole bushel. Okay. You either gonna stay like this, okay, or you eat these red onions.
Yeah.
Give me a whole tree. What they
right.
They grow on trees or in the ground, whatever. I'm taking them all up. I'm eating them all up.
Yep. I put in onions on everything. After that, my salads have onions. My sandwiches have onions.
That's right. Shoot, I might start eating red onions now.
Yes,
somebody else said that their auntie had coronavirus, and she also mentioned about the red onion. And she's healed as well. So you're talking good, Kay. All right, I might send you an offering. Okay, because it's a teach word. Okay, my God. So Red Onions. So okay, I know you spoke about your husband and him being at your side, which I commend. Hats off to him. Like really, y'all hats off to him. I salute him. Okay, and from what I haven't seen him in years, but from what I remember, he was kind of a laid back dude. He wasn't like loud and just over the top, but he's a laid back dude. So everything that you mentioned,
you know what? He's calm. He stays calm in the storm because I was freaking out. So if he was freaking out, then the kids would have been freaking out. But it's just like he keeps cooling. So even if he's worried, and he was worried at some points, he doesn't show me that he's worried. So he knows how to just put that face on and just go into action, So yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. And that's what you need in a time like this, in a situation like this. You know what I mean? That's good. But I know you mentioned your husband and your kids. Do you feel like there's been an effect on them from this time, this 2 weeks that you went through this?
Oh yeah, they were because they told me after I came out of quarantine that because like I said, at some points I was crying, I was calling out to God. Half the stuff they were saying, I was reciting Bible verses in the bed, sleeping, and I didn't even know that I was saying, I didn't know. So, but I mean, I don't live in a mansion, and some of the things that they were hearing. So, whether it was late at night, I mean, they can hear that. So they were concerned at some points, and, Jonah had to go and just comfort them and just, just go in your room, pray for mommy, she'll be okay. But they were definitely concerned. And it did take, because I'm a hands-on mom. Like I do it all, with the cooking and the cleaning and the hair and so for me to be away from them, they know that I'm in the house, but I'm really away from them for 3 weeks. It was more than 3 weeks. It was like a good maybe month to 5 weeks, because after I got over it, you still have to quarantine to all of the symptoms and every bit of it. I wanted to make sure that I was completely fine before I interacted with them. So yeah, they were concerned, but they are prayer warriors too, and they had faith. Like they were mommy, you'll be okay, mommy, you'll be all right. So
I want to read out loud your post, because again, this is literally what inspired me to do this whole thing. I want to read it. Hold on one second, let me pull it back up here. Okay, Rebecca's inboxing me. All right, so I want to read it because I want to read the way I read it, and probably by the end of it, I was like a little emotional, but it gave me what pulled me through the whole thing. I'll show you when I get there. Okay, all right. So the only word I could use for the past 2.5 weeks of my life is hell. I don't know how I got infected with COVID-19, but I did. I took every precautionary measure I could possibly take, especially since I have children, but somehow I still got it. Unbearable body pain, shortness of breath, fever, dehydration, hallucinations, loss of taste, etc., just to name a few of the symptoms, but I'm alive. The symptoms were so bad I could honestly say that I would rather give birth to all 4 of my children back to back than go through the pain again. Let me read that again, okay? Because that's where the preacher has to read the scripture again. The symptoms were so bad, I could honestly say that I would rather give birth to all 4 of my children back to back than to go through them again. There are times I was convinced I was going to die, but here I am, 15 pounds lighter, alive and well. I was able to beat this thing called COVID-19. If it wasn't for my faith, my husband, and my auntie Fifi. Listen, that's right, you can read me. Sorry. Yeah, I said it all African American. My auntie Fefe. Okay. I know it would have been a different story, and I'm grateful. 3rd time in my adulthood, I almost lost my life. But guess what? I'm alive. Okay, I'm just gonna play something. Okay. My God. But listen, that auntie Fifi, Fefe. Okay, I said Fefe. I said Fifi. I said I'm gonna read it the way I read it. Because and then you guys know that there's an auntie Fifi, that does like a cooking show. She was on Facebook some time ago, and she's hilarious. So when I read Fifi, it made me crack up just because of the name, and then because of what I had in my head about this other lady named Fifi. But that right there is incredible. And again, that's what inspired me to actually do this. The two lines, one said, if I can describe it in one word, it'd be hell. And then the other line about having your 4 kids back to back. What?
Yeah, 2 C-sections and 2 natural. Like, all 4 back to back. Yes.
And see, I don't know you to be a dramatic person, so that went over straight well with me. Like, you're not like a drama queen, you know, like, oh my God, I could have done that. That's not what you. And so when I read it as it read, and I was like, that's amazing. I'm a dude, never had no kids, okay? I haven't, but I never had them myself. And I can imagine you saying 4 kids back to back again, as opposed to this coronavirus.
Because you know what, you get, it's temporary pain, and then you get the joy of what comes out of it after, right? You just go through it, and then whereas this was 3 weeks of just constant, nonstop. There's no medicine, there's no relief, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing that you could possibly do but go through it. Nothing. Nobody could help you. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing that I could do.
And that's good that you said, like, you know, childbirth is a pain that you can almost say that is okay. It's an okay pain. It's a lot of pain, but I'm saying it's the just understanding that the joy that's going to come out of it,
right,
is the consolation that will get you through. Okay,
right.
Whether you have an epidural or whether you do a natural in the tub where the babies come floating up the top, you know, I don't know how that goes with the what do they call it, the women, the birth mothers that'll sit in the tub with you.
Yeah, the doula.
Yeah, with the doula. However you do it, it's a baby still coming out. Okay, y'all know anatomy. Okay, I don't need to go into detail about that. It hurts. Okay, it hurts me just watching it and thinking about it. All right. So for somebody to say that they rather do that 4 times over, spoke life to me. It spoke like, wow, this thing is not a joke. I told the people that were on my live when I kind of talked about wanting to do this. I told them about my boss, and my boss at my job. I just started working at my job last year. Well, May the 26th will be a year. Okay. And so my boss is one of my favorite people at my job. Okay. A lot of people can't say that. I'm fortunate. The Lord has graced me to be able to say that. And I got an email that said that she had the coronavirus. The first thing I did, I'm not gonna front. I was like, oh wait, let me see my calendar. Because when was the last time I had when was the last time I had talked to her? Okay. But it had been enough time, and I didn't really interact with her like that. But then my next thought was to immediately pray for her because I didn't know the severity of it at the moment, but I did know what the media was putting out there. And the media, at that point, I had seen the long tractor trailers, the refrigerated trucks.
Yeah.
In front of Brooklyn Hospital. That's one of the first places in New York City that they had it. You see all of the death rates. Every day they're giving us the death rates. That's all I had seen. So I immediately started praying for her because I'm like, I need my boss. Okay. And I actually like her. And I don't want nobody else to be my boss.
Right.
So she ended up going into the hospital, which was actually the hospital that is in collaboration with my job, New York Presbyterian in 168th Street. She ended up going to the hospital. And it's the same hospital that one of the first reported cases in New York City, that gentleman ended up there too. And it actually is the same building that I go get my lunch at every other day. Yeah. So she ended up in the hospital on a vent for a month. Okay. Just last week, she came off the vent. She experienced 2 or 3 strokes because, you know, when you're laying in the bed, your blood doesn't properly flow. She had 2 or 3 strokes, and now she's in rehab. She gained her speech back, and she's just in rehab to perfect her speech and to also, you know, learn how to walk again, move her arms and things like that. Right. So she's not the, you know, there's some people, I can't say that. That's not nice, Wardell. But there are some people that you look at and you're like, you know what I was gonna say. You know where I was going. Okay, there's some people you're like, no, please, no, please, no. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what happened to me when I seen your post. I was like, yes, Lord, God, do it. You know what I mean? But then my boss, I'm like, please, no, God. So she's coming through. And listen, they can call it what they want, but I know the power of prayer. You know what I mean? And I know what God can do. So not only did I have me praying for, my family was praying for, some other people I know were praying for my boss, and she came through. So, and that's really what I wanted to emphasize today: victory over this thing called COVID-19.
And look at me, and look at I the word was in me. I didn't even know I was speaking it. Other people had to tell me. My husband's laying hands on me at nighttime. I didn't know what was going on, but I made it through. You know.
See, and those times, I tell people, you know what? There's a point where you get in your life where you really can't do anything but depend on God. Like there's nothing else that you and your humanly nature can do except trust and depend on God. And that's where you were at.
And having this was a reminder, because sometimes reminders, you know, because everything's going good. You look at the finances and you finally got a control on this and you know what I mean? Because a lot of time, and it's sad to say, but it's human nature. Sometimes it's not until hardship or disaster or something comes to knock you down for you to turn back to God, or, you know, just strengthen that relationship that you had. We all think at some point in different ways, shapes, or forms, we're invincible when it comes to different things. So yeah, it was definitely a wake-up call and a reminder, like, hey, I'm here. You know, maybe you want to talk to me. Maybe we need to strengthen this relationship a little bit more, you know, like.
Right. No, you're right. And I mean, you know what, to be honest, we all find ourselves there. I don't care how deep and spiritual you are. I don't care how long you've been going to church. Okay. How long you've been serving the Lord. Okay. We all find ourselves there in that place where we find ourselves a little bit further from God than we really thought we were. You know what I mean? And something will happen to shake you up and bring you right back. Back. Unfortunately, for you, it was COVID-19, but either way, God got your attention. You know what I mean? And honestly, I believe that as unfortunate as the many, many, many fatalities that we have experienced are, I think at the same time, this is a wake-up call for a lot of people. You know, sometimes the media does peak.
Then again, a lot of people still aren't taking this serious, and that in itself saddens me, especially people of color. Like people. There's some people that it still hasn't hit home, and they're still just out there being reckless. And again, not until when it hits home where you start taking things serious, you know?
I think, you know, a lot of that has to do with location too, because, you know, we're in this New York, New Jersey area. We got hit really hard with this thing. It's almost like, you know, Haiti had a hurricane some years ago, right? Hurricane that literally wiped a whole bunch of Haiti out. You know what I mean? And although we felt we were empathetic towards Haiti, we were sympathetic towards Haiti.
The earthquake you're talking about?
Was it an earthquake? It was an earthquake. What did I say? Hurricane?
Yeah.
Hurricane. Something came through. Okay.
Yeah.
And although we're up here in this New York, New Jersey area in the United States, we sympathize with them. We sent money. We sent supplies. We sent all this stuff. We still didn't feel it like they did.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Yeah. And so I think our friends in the southern states, who Corona didn't sweep through like it swept through this area, those are the individuals who are not taking it seriously. Like Georgia opened up hair salons, the place where we gather the most, and talk the most in the hair salon.
Yeah.
You know how much buzzing goes on at a hair salon or a barbershop? Fellas talk, fella talk, the ladies talk, lady talk. And people talk. And and they're opening them, and I'm like, you guys just don't understand. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I wanted to do this, because I do have family and friends down south, and I talk to them on a regular basis. I'm like, listen, stop playing. Okay, you got me here. I'm telling you what it is. This is not no fake, no fairy tale. Okay,
right.
And so now we got you on here sharing. But I did want to mention the media sometimes does peek through with some positivity. Okay, and so I did see on Channel 12 News. Shout out to Channel 12 News, because they are a lot more liberal in their, I guess, positive news that they produce than other channels. But you could look around this country and see how people are acknowledging God and kind of turning their face back towards God. some of the most incredible images I've seen was one. They were praying on the rooftop of a hospital, stressed out. You seen that? It was like maybe 8, 10 people in the frame that I seen, and they were stressed out, and there was some music playing, and that was an incredible scene. I seen doctors and nurses sitting on the helipad of the hospital praying. You know what I mean? I see now. You know, you work. So you work in the funeral, counseling field. So I'm sure you've been in the hospital. You know, they don't play those games. You can't be talking about Jesus in the hospital. You can't be praying to God. I don't care who, either Allah, Buddha. You can't pray to nobody. Okay, in the hospital. But now these people are taking time at it in, turn their face towards God, because they understand that at the end of the day, we can't turn to nobody else. This thing is way beyond us.
We're nothing. Like literally.
We're nothing. And acknowledging that we're his creation. So we got to return to our creator for help with this. Okay. UMD&J, I seen this on Facebook. There was some people that did like I think it was Honk for Hope, and they're driving by hospitals, and they would stand outside and pray and worship in front of the hospital. And then people would come out and join them. And this lady was going in. I mean, all she needed was some shout music, okay? I don't know if you've seen that on Facebook. All she needed was a good shout music, and she would have been in. But the point is that these people, you know, I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of us.
Yeah.
For those that got it, those that didn't get it.
Just to add to that, that's something that my husband has been saying for even before I got the coronavirus. He was just, because everybody, you know, it was like Happy New Year, and you know, it's like, oh, it's 2020, and we all had these, you know, images and ideas like this is going to be the best year and breakthrough, and you know, then Kobe's passing and this person's passing, then coronavirus, and like things are just like what's going on. And he just, you know, he's been saying and been feeling that no matter what you believe in, this world, this country has gone haywire, and is like delusional when it comes to certain things, just media, the world, just the way of everything. And he's like, the biggest thing, God is not causing these things to happen, but he's allowing it. And he was like, this year is about repentance. It's about having clarity and vision, and just being able to turn away from things that aren't for you, aren't good for you, no matter what you believe in. It's literally about repentance. And when I talk to other people, again, you know, they may be Muslim, they're all feeling and saying the same thing, because at the end of the day, it's one God. You know what I mean? So that's what Jonah's been saying. And I totally agree with him. Like, something had to come to shake us up. There's a lot of shaking going on because there's been a lot of nonsense going on as well, too.
Yeah. Well, you hold on to that prophet, okay? You hold on to that man of God. He's talking right. I took some notes. Okay, this is a year of repentance, a year of clarity, a year of vision, turning away from the things that are not for you.
Absolutely.
Okay? We didn't realize that. We came into this year, like you said, it's 2020. We about to turn up. This is about to be our year. This is the year of all these things, and no, it's the year of repentance.
Right.
Okay? It's a year for us to turn away from our own ways and turn back to God.
It can't be the year, your year of what you planned, with you bringing your old crap into it. Like, you're not willingly letting it go, so you're going to be forced to let it go. So that's
absolutely
pretty much it.
And it can't be your year that you have your vision for without understanding God's vision,
right,
for your year. And some of us walked in here like that. We walked in here boldly, like, "Wow, you know, I'm here. I'm about to get this done. Okay, we about to do this," and we forgot that we need God's will to be done in our lives.
Who we needed to do it with
exactly.
And for. Yeah.
He was like, "Watch this. Watch this.
Watch this." Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, this is amazing, Kay. I am really grateful that you came on. I think you added a whole lot. This was far beyond my thought of what this was going to happen. What was going to happen on this call, on this live. But I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And
yeah.
Please tell your husband I said hi.
Yes, I will.
Salute him. Completely salute him. And if you guys need anything, you let me know. I'm not rich, I'm broke, but if you, I got $3. If y'all want two, I got you. All right. If y'all need anything, let me know. I'm grateful for you coming on, and make sure you tell him I said hi.
I definitely will.
We're gonna definitely keep in touch. We went over our time a little bit, and it's cool because we had like some technical difficulties in the beginning. We're only over 4 minutes. It's okay, but I enjoyed this. I hope you did. And let's stay in touch. And I'm going to I'm probably going to download it, so we'll have the recording. If you need it, I can shoot it over to you.
Love and peace to everyone. You and your family stay safe. I love you. It's good seeing you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good seeing you too.
All right.
Much love to you and your family. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. So, that was crazy. I was trying to look at some of you guys' comments because this platform that I'm using, I can't see the comments. I have to do something with it. Next time I'll have it run better. But thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This live, y'all know I'm stupid. Okay, this live was brought to you by the Fly Dads Project. Okay, where we celebrate and empower African American dads. All right, and the Vision 3 Group, your premier source for everything entertainment, and also Zion Images. Okay, capturing the essence of your vision. And they all belong to me. All right. So y'all need photography services. Your artists, you need management. You gotta. Actually, I need to put Kay's husband on the Fly Dads Project. I'm gonna have to reach out to her for that. He'd be dope for that. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm over my time. I promise I'll be here for an hour. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you're rewatching later on, thank you for staying this long. Okay, and I'll be back next Monday, the same time, 7 p.m. I have 2 other guests on here, and we're going to come from different perspectives. Y'all know I don't have no sense, so we're going to have fun, okay? So like, comment on here, and share it with your peoples next time you see me on 7 p.m. next Monday, okay? I'll be back. All right? Love, peace, and hair grease, okay? And some, I need some grease because they not near to hold the grease, but amen. Okay. God could do that too. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace.